Welcome to episode 8 of The Streak. I'm your host, Tim McDonough, joined as always by former Defiance head baseball coach Tom Held, current Defiance mentor Rick Weaver, who is also a longtime co-head coach with Tom, and members of the 2013 team that, well, I'm not going to spoil anything in case you don't remember, but they had a pretty good season. Welcome to the show, guys. Weston, Joe, Robbie, Ethan, Alec, Dom. Great to see you guys, and can't wait to get into the stories about this season and what a season it was, guys. Before we start talking about that, though, let's find out what you guys have been up to since you guys left the hallowed halls of Defiance High School. Starting with you, Weston.
So after high school, went to Lincoln Trail Junior College. Played 2 years there, ended up transferring to Indiana State University. Ended up tearing my UCL there a couple times. After that, just joined the fire department back in Defiance and served the community for a little bit. Had fun doing that. Now I transferred over here to Fisher's Fire Department in Indy, or outside Indy. Got a beautiful wife named Brandy, and we got a little doggy named Bristol, and living on the east side of Indy in Greenfield, Indiana.
Nice. All right. Hey, Joe, you're next. Joe Keelan, what's going on?
Yep. So I went to I always like to call it the Harvard of the Mac, University of Toledo. I don't know if you know how you get in there, but you open the door. That's it. Went to Toledo, graduated there. I've been back in the Defiance really ever since. I had a couple different teaching jobs, but I'm at Striker now, and I've coached football, and baseball at Defiance. I thought for sure I'd be done when Tom left, but Rick forced me to stay, and been doing that ever since. So
Hey, I thought I'd be done when Tom left, and since I had to stay, you got to stay.
that's fair. That's fair.
Robbie, how about you? What have you been up to since high school?
Yeah, so started off, played a little bit of baseball at Kentucky, played a couple of years there, and ended up transferring to Kent State, played a couple of years there, finished out in 2018, and got into coaching shortly thereafter. Was coaching a 14-year-old group in the area, realized I still want to stay around baseball, had more to give the game, and really enjoyed coaching guys and seeing them get better, and enjoying being around me. So obviously I've had a ton of good mentors that have paid dividends over the years into my career, and one thing led to another, and I was coaching at Defiance College there from 19 to 20. COVID shut down that year after an 8-game start to the season, and then had an opportunity to join Luke Haggerty and Josh Knipp and some fellow Defiance guys down in Charlotte, North Carolina at the training facility called X2 Baseball. I was there for 3 years, and now find myself here in Nashville, Tennessee, coaching at Lipscomb University as a pitching coach.
Oh, Don Romero, welcome to the show. What have you been up to since high school?
I've been a little bit of everywhere. I've spent 2 years at would you say, the Harvard of the Mac. Didn't figure out what I wanted to do. Dropped out, ended up joining the Army, spent 2 years active, 4 years reserves, which landed me in Cleveland. Um, Finished my undergrad there in crisis counseling, moved out here to DC 2023, been here ever since. Um, just finished my master's, got my license to be a board certified assistant behavior analyst working with kiddos with autism and various intellectual disabilities. I'm eligible to sit for my big boards next month. Um, Living out here with my beautiful fiance. We're getting married in March. I got two dogs. Percy's still kicking. He just turned 10, which is crazy. I actually adopted him there in Defiance's Humane Society, so he's been traveling with me all over as well. Um, but yeah, just I'm working right now as an independent contractor, as a behavior consultant, kind of mixing my mental health experience with behavioral health and just helping a lot of people out here. There's a big need for it here in the DMV, and it's a weird time in DC, if you guys can imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit different than Defiance.
Defiance, Ohio, yeah. Alec, on to you. What's new? And please tell us about your journey.
Sure. So I went to Ohio University, which is arguably the Harvard of the Mac. Uh, I graduated in, I think, 2017, 2018. Ended up working in Columbus for a couple of years as an accountant for BMW Financial Services. Then I ended up moving to Montana in 2021. Got married to Hannah in 2022. Had Milo in 2023. And we've been in Helena, Montana ever since then. I work for the state now as an accountant.
Yeah. Very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. Ethan, welcome to episode 8. What's new with you? Tell us about your journey.
Oh, psyched to be here. Went to OU my freshman year, actually roomed with Alec, transferred to Ohio State, graduated, computer science degree. I moved down to Tampa, worked for a cybersecurity startup for a year. I got the job that I have now, which is with Slack. I moved to Denver. I was there for a year. I was in San Francisco for a year, back to Tampa for a year, and somehow wound up back in Columbus. So,
How did you end up back in Columbus, Ethan?
yeah. Love, unfortunately. Yeah, married Cassidy, Tom's daughter. Every coach's dream for their daughter to marry the 7th best pitcher on the team. Um, so yeah, married her, and we've got Paisley, who's 8, and then Cruz, who's turning 1 in 2 days.
Wow. Well, welcome to the show, guys. Now, Tom and Rick, before we hop into the season here, what can you guys tell me about this group of guys? 10 seniors that also included Drake Jimenez, Wade Veerhoff, Austin Yant, and Mazen Cano. So go ahead, either Rick or Tom, whoever wants to go first.
Taking a look at these guys, how the hell did we win 5 games? I mean, my God, that was a hell of a coaching performance that year. I can tell you that. No, but this a great group, and just like all the groups. I mean, they've all been great groups, and they were the benefit of getting over the hump. I mean, obviously this podcast is about the streak, and then the tournament run that these guys took Defiance on, and the community, and will never be forgotten, obviously. And he was the first one to get her done since '92, and Coach Inspin had the state championship team, and just a special group. And like I said, they're all special. Everybody has their own unique little way, and but they kind of paved the way of the belief that it can happen, and they did that.
I think for me, I think 2 things stand out, and obviously last week we talked about how our season ended and how talented 2012 was. And I think these guys from the first day of winter workouts, we knew exactly what their goal was. Robbie posted all over the stadium 6-1, had papers everywhere. So every time we went up there to hit or throw, reminded of 2012. And then when we did our shirts, they had 245 was what they wanted on the back of their shirts. And I remember Coach Held and I going, what the hell is 245? Like, why do we want to put this in the back of our shirts? And I remember him saying, well, we calculate it. Like, that's how many innings we got to play to win a state title. So these guys from day one had one goal in mind, and obviously they accomplished it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
And
guys,
they were
go ahead,
they
Tom.
were one of the few groups. There was a theme for every team, and a lot of times we'd have to give them some ideas or come up with some things. This group literally did everything on their own. That deal in the locker room that first day of winter workouts was completely on their own, and that 245 was completely on their own. And they were on a mission. They really were. We didn't know that at that time what was going to happen, but obviously after the fact, the whole group of seniors. The thing that was unique too is they were these guys. They all had their friend, like they were all friends. They were all tight at the thing, and then they all had their groups within the team who they hung out with as well. But when they got together, they loved baseball. This group loved baseball, and then I don't know, they just enjoyed hanging out with each other.
Yep. Obviously, you guys kept the streak alive. Came in at 60. I'm sorry, was it 59 straight coming into this season? You guys finished with 68 straight, and we'll get into that. 31-1, and obviously we'll get to the tournament run. But let's hop into the first WBL game of the year, and let's find out what you guys don't remember, just like everybody else. All right, April 9th at home against Kenton. You guys won 10-0 in 6 innings. Winning pitcher Western Rivers, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. Scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth, and 2 in the sixth. You scored those 6 runs in the first 2 innings, all without a hit out of the infield, from what I read in that story. So that's kind of interesting. You guys finished with 9 hits. Austin Hancock 2 for 4, 2 runs. Adam Schaefer 2 for 3. Austin Yant 1 for 1 with a home run. What do you guys remember about opening the Western Buckeye League season at home against Kenton on April 9th, 2013? And go. All shaking your heads.
Yeah, I thought we were in Kenton, so that's a hell of a start.
I
You
remember it was
remember we
cold.
played.
Cold. That's all I remember.
It's always cold.
I think it's funny that some of the main top performers that you brought up are next year's class.
Well,
I wasn't going to say it, but you're not wrong.
that's also been a theme. Like last week's podcast, it seemed like every game was Robbie Ziegler was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. So apparently our seniors never perform. It's the years before. But I like to see we continue what we've done with 8 straight of big innings, not getting balls out of the infield, walks, errors, bunts. It's amazing how many games you've said that of these big innings and with very few hits, and it's almost like we've just, and we've talked to other podcasts, but we put so much pressure on the other teams that it seems like they just can't make plays that leads to big innings for us.
No,
Well, just piggybacking on that, Timmy, not really about this game, but going into the season, as I read, I didn't really remember it until I read the articles, but we weren't really favored to win the league. Walpock was state runners up the year before and had their 1 and 2 back, Culver and Crawford, and all their starters back. They had everybody back, and so they were really picked to win the league. And then another Shawnee had their 1 and 2 back. Corey Wilder, who went to North Carolina State, and their 2 was Tyler Anderson, who went to BG, was on that. And then Bath had a good team. The Colin Gossard, I think he may have been a junior that year. But that may have been the deepest. That season probably was the deepest the WBL's ever been. I would think. It's hard to say. There's so many good seasons, but the depth in that league that year was incredible.
I guess as players, did you guys talk about the streak at all? I mean, that win gets it to 60 games in a row. I mean, was that even anything on your mind heading into the season?
I would say yeah. Well, I thought about it. I didn't want to be the team to break the streak. That's for sure.
It's fair.
I think it was in the back of everyone's minds, but like you talked about the team the year before us was stacked, and I remember talking to these guys when we were like 7th and 8th grade about, we're gonna win state our junior year for sure, like no doubt, because that team's so good. And then senior year, like maybe if we get good. So I think it's always, dude, state was always right there. So the streak is like cool, but state was it. State was it for us.
Well, I agree with that statement. Like, baseball is so different because, you can lose a couple games here and there and you're going to get into the tournament, and then, you get hot at the right time and you're fine. Whereas, football and basketball, you lose a couple games, you only got so many. Maybe basketball is not the best example, but, baseball, you can lose a few, but I don't think our team had that mindset. It's like, I think we went into every game and it was almost like this feeling like if we lost, then the state championship potential is gone. Like, that's it. If we lose, we're done. Even though that's not realistic at all. So me personally, again, I didn't throw any of these games, and that's a different perspective. But going to each game, yeah, we want to keep the streak going. But I think, like Ethan said, it was more of a, we got to win to get to that 245 to get to the state championship and complete the overall goal.
From what I remember, from what I remember, we were so focused on every single minute detail. That's because we knew that like everybody was stacked. We didn't have any room for errors or anything like that. I remember the internal competition between all of us was who can get the most 6-pitch at bats, who can get the most runs scored. It wasn't necessarily who's going to hit the home runs, who's going to get the strikeouts. It was every little thing. And I remember Coach overhearing Coach Weaver and Coach Held having such a deep conversation about how strategic they were with making the order because, like he said, we didn't have any hits out of the infield. They specifically made the batting order. I remember for like spacing out the best bunters with I remember Adam Schaefer, Dom Gentili, who was going to be on runner on first and second, nobody out. You're bunting down the first base line. Who was that person that was able to do that? Every single detail was not meant to keep the streak going or anything. It was to win every single one of those 245 innings that we needed. So I think our main goal of state was that was the goal, but we focused on every other thing other than beating WBL teams or beating this or that team. It was just we got to win this inning. We win every inning. We win state. That's it.
All right. So moving on to game two, there must have been, I don't remember, but some rain because the first game was on April 9th and you guys didn't play another WBL game until April 23rd at home against OG. You guys won 5-0. Winning pitcher, Weston Rivers, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 6 Ks. He scored 1 in the second, 2 in the fifth, and 2 in the sixth. Finished with 8 hits. Austin Hancock, 2 for 4. Dom Gentili, 3 for 4 with a double. Adam Schaefer, 2 for 3 with a double. And Austin Yant, 1 for 1 with a double. Anything you guys remember about beating OG at home that year?
How many hits does OG have?
2.
Oh, I didn't write down theirs. Yeah, 2 hits.
2.
Yep, 2.
Okay.
Yep.
I just know it's cold and rainy. I remember.
That's every game.
Northwest Ohio baseball, yeah.
Windy. I think it was windy, maybe, but it wasn't fun pitching in.
It's even worse hitting in it, Westo.
Well, I looked at my stats. I didn't really hit much, so it didn't matter to me.
Hey, you had 1 big hit.
Yeah,
That's all we needed out of you, buddy.
claim to fame.
That's right.
Is that what you call what we did, Rick? Hitting? I don't know if that's
Some
what
of
you
you.
Some
Not
of you.
you.
Swinging.
Dom was a
Swinging.
professional hitter. You and Westo, not sure what the hell you two were doing up in the stadium. Ethan, did we even let Ethan hit during practice?
No, I wouldn't. I specifically, when you guys started to hit, I would go make the Gatorade before the game. Like I knew my role. Know your role. I knew what I was there. I was a personality hire. I was making the Gatorade, comedic effect maybe in the dugout. It was great. Loved it. 5 ABs.
5
7.
ABs.
I think you had 7.
Seven.
I think you had 7, Ethan.
If I had 7 ABs, it's because we were winning by 10. Like if I was up to the plate, you knew we're run ruling them next inning.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yep.
You had 5 ABs,
Yep.
7 plate appearances, but you hit 400 on the season. 2 for 5.
Hey,
Yeah.
well, that's because we were playing probably like Paulding. Like they were throwing 65. They had an 8th grader up there. And it was probably like an infield, just a little blooper that I actually ran to first on, one of the very few.
Hey, at least you can tell everyone you batted 400 your senior year. They don't have
That's
to
right.
know the rest.
I
You don't have
normally
to know
don't
the
talk
rest.
about, the swinging. That's not for me.
All right. Now moving on to game 3, and this is a fun one. April 26th at Wapakoneta. You guys won 1-0. Winning pitcher Rob Ziegler, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 14 Ks.
Out.
Losing pitcher Johnny Crawford, 7 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 5 walks, 3 Ks. You guys scored in the second. Derek Turner leadoff single, went to second on a pass ball. Adam Schaefer bunt single toward third, Turner to third. Austin Hancock full count walk to load the bases. And Dom Romero slow roller to second. Turner scores, Schaefer to third, Hancock to second. And that was before Crawford closed the door on that inning. So now, Robbie, I want to start with you on this one because I remember sitting in the stands behind home plate, and I think it said it in the article too, but you had a look about you that day, and I know that you obviously know that. Can you talk about what it was like to go on the road, beat those guys, obviously after the disappointment in 2012 in the regional championship game?
Yeah, no doubt. I'd love to talk about that one. That was the one that was really special, obviously. Having had what happened the previous year, I think I threw that game junior year, the regional, what was it, final game, when we lost to Walpock. That one that was obviously very motivating for us in the 2013 season. But yeah, it was fuel from the previous year. It was fuel in knowing that this was a team that may be on the mountaintop in our league that's standing in our way of something we're trying to accomplish. It was like Coach Held was saying there earlier. It was them. It was Shawnee that was our only real rivals. I think that we were looking at it. So if we could take care of that game, we felt pretty confident that Corey Wilder, his last name is very true. He's a fairly wild pitcher. We were confident that he'd put us on for free. We'd be able to manufacture enough if Weston and I just take care of business on our end. So no, with the Walpock one, it's we got to bear down. We got to get out. You got to take it a pitch at a time, an inning at a time. And I think you look up and the results are there. But I think it was just the process fueled by the prior year.
Let me read.
Anybody else?
Let me
Go
read.
ahead.
Let me read Robbie's comment in the paper. So this was Robbie's interview with the infamous Tim McDonough. I was on a mission from the moment I woke up. I was ready to go, said Ziegler about pitching against Wapakoneta, losing to them 6-1 in the regional finals last year. Them finishing at state runners-up. I just really, really wanted to win all off season. Every time I went to throw, to hit, to rep, every time I worked on anything, I looked at that sign, remembered that loss, and used it as motivation. And my quote about him, this is kind of crazy. I usually don't say this stuff, which, Tim, I think you did not put the right quote in there, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm just kidding.
I'm sure I embellished it. Yeah.
I said we had some good games in WBL, and we've had some great pitching performances at Defiance. And this is tough for me to say, but that's single-handedly against a state runner-up team that had all its starters back. That may have been the best pitching performance at Defiance High School during my tenure. What an unbelievable performance by Robert Ziegler. And I do remember he just dominated. I mean, just dominated a great team.
I mean, that's what led me to pissing off everybody in the 2012 class and last week's episode when I said Robbie Ziegler had the most baseball talent that's come through Defiance since we've been here. And I'm sure you're going to see more games like this of how Robbie just absolutely dominated his senior year.
Anybody else want to jump in on this one?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously had to feel good. Go ahead, Joe.
I remember two things in that game specifically, both involving Zig. First one, and Tom and Rick, I brought this up before, and you guys both disagree with me, but I will die on this hill that I remember that game.
Run this bed.
Zig had a single between third and short. The exit velo is like, I don't know, like 110 or something ridiculous. But I remember he hit 95 that game, and neither of you, and nobody ever freaking believes me, but he hit 95, and everybody said it was just 94. But Zig, I don't know if you remember, but I till the day I die, well, like I said, I'll take that to my grave. I saw you hit 95 that day. I'm like, he just got drafted. Like everybody was there for you and Corey Wilder and shit, and I just remember that. So whether anybody wants to actually believe me or not, but Zig, you hit 95 in Wapak that day.
Was Corey Wilder scouting in the stands that day against Wapak or what, Joe?
All right. Second thing, Tom. Is, and this happened twice that year. The different statements, but Zig, you might remember this. So it was the last inning, bottom of the seventh, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rick. You have a better memory than anybody. It seems like
It's fading fast.
Well, I think they had a leadoff double off the fence in the last inning or warning track or something. They got somebody on in the bottom of the seventh, and then Zig pitched out of it. And I just remember after the game, I don't know if he ended the game on a strikeout or what, but him and I meet between home and the mound and shake hands, and he puts his glove over his mouth and goes, I don't know how the hell I'm going to pitch in the SEC next year. I just thought that was funny as hell. Oh, man. I don't know either, buddy. Good luck.
Anybody else want to jump in on this one before we move on? All right, guys, moving on. April 30th versus St. Mary's. You guys won 7-1. Winning pitcher, Weston Rivers, 6 innings, 2 hits. 1 run, 3 walks, 10 Ks. Other Mazin Cano, 1 inning, 0 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 0 Ks. Scored 1 in the first, 5 in the second, and 1 in the fourth. Finished with 9 hits. Dom Gentili, 1 for 3 with a double and 3 runs. Robbie Ziegler, 3 for 4, double, 2 RBI. What do you guys remember about St. Mary's in late April? Win number 4 and 63 straight. That good, huh?
Did I read, Tom? You sent out all those articles and I skimmed through them. Did I read that St. Mary's won the league the year before? Is that right?
I'm not sure how they could since we had a 68-game winning
streak.
Not
one. I'm sorry, not one. I'm sorry. I was there was something about them the year before having everybody back or finish like second or something.
Wapak had everybody back.
No, I know that, but I thought I read something. Maybe I must be losing it because I thought I read something about.
I think Joe took too many of Westo's knuckleballs off the.
Well,
cup,
and he was concussed
melon.
17 times in football. Timmy, I don't remember this game, but I know, and I know this was probably about the start of the season where Coach Held and I started to realize we had a pretty special number 2. Obviously, we knew Robbie as our 1, and we knew when he threw, we were going to be pretty darn good. We thought Westo had a shot, and then after his first few starts, that's when we were like, we have 2 really, really good pitchers here, and most schools wish they had 1. We had 2 guys we could run out that made it tough, obviously, on other teams.
So, Weston, question to you then. When did you know that you could be that number 2 guy? I mean, when did they let you throw the knuckleball? Was it summer?
Yeah.
Coach
I guess it was summer. Yeah, with Coach Lehman. I always had it in the back pocket. Yeah. But they wouldn't let me throw it. I would throw it in the gym and stuff with guys and hurt people, but they didn't like it.
Hurt people.
That's a fact. He did. He had the damn thing in his back pocket coming in as a freshman, and he kept saying he wanted to throw like, "Well, hey, let's worry about the fastball and the breaking ball first before we get to that knuckleball and get that. Let's work on that first." And seriously, for Brent Lehman in that Acme summer, he called the pitches that summer, and Brent just kept calling the knuckleball. And I watched him, and I mean, he could throw for strikes, and it was dominant. It was freaking sick. And we knew going into that spring season, we're going to use the knuckleball. There's no doubt about it. We flushed the changeup. That was his knuckleball. We had a good breaking ball as well to go with his fastball. He gained like 6 or 7 mile an hour that year too.
Yeah,
the season before.
Going back to your original question, it started in winter workouts for me because I knew AK left. We needed another guy, so I knew it was my time to step up. So I think I dropped a bunch of weight that year. Got down in weight, started working really hard. Because then the goals came in division that I needed to bear down, start working, get after it. And then it just fell in line that I was number 2. And when I was on the mound, I was a different person, pretty much. You just lock in and go throw the ball, and you're going to beat whoever you're going to beat that day. I didn't care who it was. So,
did you throw it to these guys during practice? Did you guys ever have to try to hit the knuckle?
Maybe. I don't know if we threw it.
We never really. We didn't inter squad much. We didn't have the luxury we do now of 6 cages where we could throw a lot of live ABs. I mean, Joe's the one that got beat up with it. Joe's the one that always had to catch it. I mean, I wish we had video.
Oh my God!
Upstairs in the stadium when we'd throw bullpens. I mean, there's no heat. Actually, I think you guys your senior year first got heat, but you could barely see. Westo would be throwing his knuckle. Joe could barely catch it. He'd fall back into the nets. We'd have to untangle him after every pitch. I mean, it was pure comedy. I mean, just to watch Joe just try to touch it. I mean, we're watching him struggle to catch it, and Coach Held and I are like, how the hell are hitters going to hit this when our own catcher knows it's coming and can't even catch it?
Yeah.
The worst was when we used to play catch with Weston warming up, and he'd call fastball, and he'd throw that damn knuckleball, and it'd just be zipping all over the damn place. And it was worse when it was windy.
Alec, wait, try when he calls a knuckleball and he throws a fastball instead.
Well, either one.
It's only 82, dude.
Whatever.
Coming that hard.
That's the other thing people don't realize. His knuckle was as fast as most kids' fastballs we were facing.
Yes. That's what
I
was
mean,
crazy.
so you're looking at an average high school fastball, but it's a knuckleball. Like they had no chance.
Well, the frustrating thing was, and I know I'm getting ahead of everything, but if you go back and you watch the state championship game, like with the broadcast, like it's almost like they didn't do, whoever was announcing it didn't do their homework. This is an
Didn't know what he was throwing.
Didn't know he had a knuckleball, and I'm looking like an idiot back there, and they're saying, "Oh, Keewan's struggling with looks like a curveball." Like, no,
they didn't know my name either.
So. Yeah, they didn't know your name. They didn't know your
Wellston Rivers.
I'm like, if this kid's throwing a 75-mile-per-hour curveball, I can catch it. It's not a curveball. It's a knuckleball.
Well, that's why they couldn't believe we made it that far. We have a catcher who can't even catch a breaking ball.
Exactly.
I think I heard one of them say, "Did their normal starting catcher get hurt in regionals? What's going on here?"
It was pure cinema from the outfield. Watching Joe. Joe's already down in the catcher stance. I don't know how your knees could buckle when they're already buckled, but he was breakdancing back there. It was awesome.
Oh my God, he'd be on his butt 6-7 times a game and still catch that thing. It's amazing.
He had an interpersonal relationship with every umpire because he was in their lap most of the game.
I love it.
What?
All right, so guys, moving on to game 5.
You have to do
go ahead, Joe.
In the outfield, Dom, I saw you guys had you were going out. I was just giving Dom a hard time. It's not like you had anything else to do out there. Not that any balls were hit at the outfield.
I had the best job, dude.
With Weston's signature.
Nothing was coming to left field. It was wonderful.
So it's funny. You guys outscored the WBL that year 60-5. And in game number 5 at Van Wert, you guys won 15-2 in 5 innings, and 2 of the runs you gave up to Van Wert, who apparently you've never lost to since Tom showed up and Rick's been there. So,
but
like,
saying
you
it,
gave up two to those guys. Winning pitcher Rob Ziegler, 4 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks. Other Western Rivers, 1 inning, 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks, 2 Ks. You scored 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 9 in the fourth, and 3 in the 5th. Austin Hancock, 3 for 4, 2 doubles. Dom Gentili, 2 for 4, double, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. I forgot Austin had 2 runs as well. Robbie Ziegler, 3 for 4, double, 2 RBIs. Adam Schaefer, 2 for 3, 2 runs. Western Rivers, 1 for 3, triple. Joe Keewan, 2 for 3, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. And Dom Romero, 3 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Do you guys remember putting it on Van Wert on the road? Guys, did you get the sandwiches afterwards?
Joe, what was the year that you just got into somebody in the dugout?
This was the year. This is the year. This is at Van Wert when he went off on Derek Turner.
Yeah,
Pinned him against the dugout wall.
There was 3-2 in the third. Was it like close game? Because it was 3-2 in the third. That was the middle of the game, wasn't
Against the dugout wall, and I had to threaten him. He wasn't getting Coach Coleman's mom's sloppy joes if he didn't knock it off in the dugout.
You had to go get my mom. Next inning, I had to go after the inning. You guys took me to the bullpen to warm up. Did Weston pitch that game at all? Did you say he
pitched
relieved?
1 inning? Yeah.
So I had to warm up Weston in the bullpen, and one of you got my mom, and she had to come down to the bullpen through the fence and talk to me.
I don't remember that.
I do. I remember Joe getting pissed off that game. I remember that.
I think DT slammed his helmet or something.
Yeah, I think Derek struck out, slammed his helmet. I think Joe tried to calm him down. He got mad at Joe, so Joe pinned him against the wall and said, "We're not going to act like this." And
wow.
I don't remember the whole thing because I was at first base, but I just remember a little commotion and looking in there, and Joe was all flustered and mad, and you don't usually see Joe like that, so.
I just remember I got like 4 or 5 embarrassments to the team.
I think he slammed his helmet and hit Joe or something weird, something like that, or his bat, one or the other. But
I can't remember what happened, but
I can't believe Derek got mad. Derek used to quit in the velo game. He'd take 2 swings and say, "I'm done," and go running out. Go sit in the net by himself, and then Mazin would come join him.
Any of you other guys remember any of this in the dugout?
Oh, nothing with the dugout. What I can tell you about Van Wert, my folks are from there, mom and dad, so that one always kind of had a special place for me. I know Joey Hurlis. I don't remember if they beat us in basketball that year, but I feel like I recall he was running his mouth a little bit to our student section. That was something that kind of motivated me. Like he was obviously their stud player, basketball, baseball, football. He was kind of like their Nafi a few years later. So just going a little extra notch for a guy that trying to get back our other sport. I don't recall if they got us in basketball or not, but I remember he kind of went off against us, so that one felt good.
I forgot that kid. He was good.
Baller.
You kind of like Michael Jordan. Like he pissed you off, and you're like, "That's all the motivation I needed.
Did a little
It's over."
little something. Yes, sir.
And I took
I love
offense
it.
to that. Yeah.
I want to know. I do want to know. So obviously the guys you remember, and Tim, I don't know if you know, but Van Wert is known for how terrifying their first base dugout is, with how close it is to home plate and
Oh, jeez.
anything. I'm curious. I'm curious how scary it was for Tom and Rick that game with Ziggy pitching, any right-handed hitter coming up, and anytime
Oh,
you call a fastball, like look
but
at.
we brought it up in the first one because I don't know if you guys know in '05, Coach Heldabout got killed. I mean, it literally missed him by inches. And then him screwing around, he went running out of the dugout and drilled his head on the pole and went down. And it was literally like a 3-minute delay because everyone was laughing so hard. Like John Neese was throwing, and every time he'd step on the rubber, he'd start laughing and he'd have to step off. So I thought you were going to bring that story up, but it's the scariest dugout. Like we played there last spring and we had the 3 stat girls and they were sitting where Coach Held used to always sit. And I'm like, girls, you got to move. Like you're going to get killed. Like, and I'm not even joking. And yes, it is a scary dugout.
That one
Especially when you have,
St. Francis.
especially when you have power pitchers like Robbie and John and those guys.
Yeah.
Because those righties are so late on that. I mean, they just shoot them into the dugout.
Well, then you got stuff like what happened with Bill a couple of years ago. Like you
Yeah.
actually see that happen, and then it just amplifies it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff freaks me.
It is scary.
Anyone else want to add anything before we move on? No. All right. Game 6, May 7th at Shawnee. Shawnee, this was their first WBL loss that year. You guys beat them 5-0 to stretch the streak to 65. Western River, 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks through a 1-hitter. You guys only had 4 hits. You guys scored 1 in the first, 2 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth. Or I wrote it down wrong. Obviously, that only adds up to 4, and it was 5-0. Austin Yant, 2 for 4 double. Don Romero, 1 for 1 with a double. What do you guys remember about this game? Obviously, they were unbeaten coming into that game in the league as well as you guys. They walked out of there 7-1. You guys were 6-0 after that one.
I remember 2 things. I remember Don Romero's double, but I vividly remember this getting off the bus because Robbie was supposed to start. And I remember Robbie coming up to me and goes, "Coach, I can't go." He goes, "I can't throw today." I go, "Good one." Like, not funny. He's like, "I'm dead serious." I go, "What the hell's wrong with you?" He's like, "My back." He's like, "I've been icing it the whole bus ride. I've been doing everything." He goes, "I can't throw." And I'm like, "Oh my God. Like, what do we do now?" So then I walk over to Tom. I'm like, and he's saying, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "His back." So, like, we're scrambling. And luckily, Westo had innings because a lot of times he would have thrown. I don't know if this was a Tuesday, but you aren't worried. You got Robbie on the mound. You're not worried about who's going to come in. He's going 7. So luckily we had Westo, and he was lights out. But I'll never forget that. I'll never forget Robbie coming over going, "I can't go, Coach." And I was like sick to my stomach, like, "Oh God, please tell me you're joking."
Yeah. You might remember this. Lesto might remember this. All of you might remember this. But it was a 1-0 game, and they had a runner on second and no outs, 1 out, and Zach Bailey hit a gapper to left center, and Greeny made a diving catch.
That's the
I remember that.
That's what I was going to say. That's the only thing I remember. I mean, his catch against TCC and districts is the most important, but that catch against Shawnee is one of the greatest catches I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and Greeny actually texted me like 2 weeks ago, and his mom found the tape, and he was watching it, and he's like, "I'll never forget the pitch before you made me move over 4 steps, and that's the reason I caught it." He's like, "Man, that's awesome. I don't know how you knew that." And I'm like, "Greeny, that was just dumb luck. Like, there's no chance that I knew that, and I don't know why I moved you over 4 steps, but it worked out." But he went parallel to the ground. I mean, it was an unbelievable catch. I mean, one of the top 3 defense plays that I remember, and it was a phenomenal catch.
I
Anybody else? Go ahead,
I would echo what a few guys have already said about Weston. Just, we went to bed that night, waking up next morning, I think I'm throwing, and just obviously couldn't with the back, and that spot still bothers me to this day. So it wasn't just a little fluke. That is something that's kind of continued on. But just props to Weston being able to rise to the occasion, on short notice, no complaints, no ifs, ands, or buts. There's a job to be done. And he competed his tail off and obviously put us in a great spot to win a baseball game. So that was very impressive. Obviously, yes, the Greeny catch. I'd be curious, how many did Wilder walk if we only had 4 knocks?
6 Ks, 7 walks, 4 2/3.
That's great scouting, Robbie. Great scouting.
No, you had a lot of scouts there that day too. They were packed.
Now, Westo.
Weston mentions that in a post game interview about all the scouts there that day.
He brought them from me. I shut them down.
That's right.
That was my fault. But
by the way, that game was for the league title. They were 7-0 in the league. That game was for the league title. That game right there. And I didn't realize that until I read the thing. But yeah, they were 7-0 in the league.
Now, Westo, I obviously we all know what happened in the state championship, so I don't know if I'm just thinking of that twice. But for some reason, I was thinking that Shawnee game, you lost a perfect game late too. Is that accurate or no? I know you gave up the hit too, but I was thinking you hit somebody something late.
There was a couple games he had a perfect game going in the 6th inning. Was it this game?
Yeah, I thought that was one of them.
Yeah, it was a one-hitter. So this was another one. Into the 6th, he had a perfect game going into the 6th. Yep, against Shawnee.
Gonna close the deal.
Anybody else want to hop in on this one before we move on?
It's ridiculous.
All right. So it's 2 days later. You guys are at home versus Elida. You guys won 7-1. This is May 9th. Winning pitcher Rob Ziegler, 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs, 2 walks, 10 Ks. Other, Mazen Cano, 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 0 Ks. He scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and 1 in the sixth. Let's see. So I wrote down that obviously that you missed that start against Shawnee and you came back 2 days later. Dom Gentili, 3 for 4, home run, 2 runs, 2 RBI. Adam Schaefer, 1 for 2, double. Weston Rivers, 2 for 3, double, 2 runs. Alex Smith, 1 for 1 with a home run.
Hey,
let's start with you, Alec. Do you remember going yard against Elida?
I remember hitting a home run, but no, I don't remember against Elida at all. I just know it was an inside pitch because it's the only thing I could hit.
I thought Abe was the only Smith that could swing it. You did too, huh?
Abram? No, he was the Weston 2.0. He was just on the hill.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But no, I don't remember that.
Alec, you had a
Against
couple
Elida
bombs
specific.
that year. You had a couple bombs that year, didn't you?
I don't know. I hit a lot of doubles on inside pitches that were close, but I think
four doubles and a home run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 4 of my 5 hits or something.
You had more than that.
But no, sadly.
So Robbie, 2 days later, you couldn't go against Shawnee. You go against Elida. Obviously, the back was feeling better. What did you have to do to be able to pitch?
That's a great question. I don't know. Probably just some time there. I'm sure I went and saw, I don't know if Jim Kissel's still at, Defiance Physical Therapy at this point in time, or if I was seeing Ryan Crandall and the bunch over there, but I'm sure I saw them for some treatment, stem, ice, heat, dry needling, whatever the rehab protocol was at that point. But, really just probably give it some time and some treatment and hope for the best and grit it out a little bit. But yeah, that was surprising to hear 2 days later I made a start.
Did you tweak that on the game before? Because that was the game we won 15-0. We brought Weston in to throw an inning. And then it carried over that you couldn't start later.
I feel like there is some vague memory of that Van Wert kind of had a funky bump. It was a little flat ground or a little steep, something like that. And I think, maybe kind of compensated mechanically and could have led to a little flare up. But I genuinely think it was just, some things that stem from the car accident and whatnot. That from the overuse of rotation through throwing and swinging. Now as I look back, it just kind of culminated at that point in time and my body just gave way.
Yeah. The reason I say that is because according to the article, there was nothing in that article where Weston pitched against Shawnee saying that he filled in that day. Because on the post game interview, Weston said he couldn't wait to get there and play or pitch that day. So maybe it was like a backup plan if one of you couldn't go or something. But because Corey Wilder was pitching, so I don't know about that. So.
Yeah, I think it was mentioned in the Elida story about Robbie's back, if I remember right. That's why I think I wrote it down that he was coming off the missed start. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else remember anything about this game? Dom, Ethan, Weston, Joe?
I think I remember Mr. Stanton loaning you a portable tens unit and you had it on your back in class. I specifically remember you not being able, like, I can't remember what teacher kept asking you to sit up, but you couldn't sit back in your chair because it was going to press up against the tens on your back. Because I remember that was yeah, I mean, the only time we would get ice and stem or he and stem was like sitting with Mr. Stanton, but I'm pretty sure he gave you like a loaner one to carry around with you like during school and you had it on. Because I remember Westo also had one. He always had one on his arm too, and it always freaked me out when he's over here like this all day, dialed to 100. But but I can't remember what class we were in, but that for some reason, in between all the concussions, that is something I remember.
All right, guys, moving on. Game number 8, May 10th at home against Salina. You guys won 4-1. Winning pitcher Derek Turner, 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, 7 Ks. Save Weston Rivers, 2 innings, 0 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 1 K. You guys finished with 8 hits, 1 run in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the fifth, and 1 in the sixth. Austin Hancock, 3 for 3, 2 doubles, 2 runs. Derek Turner, 2 for 3 with a double. You guys ran your record to 8-0 and clinched a share, and that's win number 67 in a row. Anything you guys remember about beating Salina that year?
No.
I was going to say.
I remember
they had a turf field.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a turf field now. Did you know
Now,
that?
yeah, you always get all the good stuff when we're gone. That's when they all start
thanks to
coming
you
in.
guys. Thanks to you guys, we got it.
we were home that game, right?
Yes.
I remember taking one under the cup that game. I very specifically remember that, and it was like foul ball under the cup, and it didn't hurt. And I started walking back to get the ball, and it settled in. And Rick came out, and I'm like on the ground dying, and he's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm just like, "Kill me, kill me." I very, very specifically remember that because I think Joe Vole was on the call. He's on the radio that game, and my parents weren't there yet. And whoever it was, him and Shorty, I think maybe. And Shorty said, "Oh, it looks like Keewan took one off his chest." And Vole's like, "No, I think he took one south of the chest." Yes, I absolutely remember that. But that's it. Not the game.
All right, what a great game. This is some good stuff. All right, guys, moving on. You guys close out 9-0, run the streak to 68. May 13th at Bath, you won 6-0. Winning pitcher, Western Rivers, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 9 Ks. Robbie came in 2 innings, 0 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. He finished with 7 hits, scored 2 in the first, and then you broke it open with 4 in the sixth. Robbie 2 for 2, double, 2 RBI. Adam Schaefer 2 for 2, double. Wes Detter 1 for 1 with a double, and Joe Keenan 1 for 3 with a double. What do you guys remember about going to Bath and closing out the WBL season perfect, if anything?
I remember Weston because Tom said Colin Gosser was really good that year. They also had Tristan Sullivan who played.
Yes, Terrence Sullivan.
Yeah, Terrence Sullivan. Sorry,
he came in relief. Was a stud that day.
They both. I mean, they were really good for being our last game. Like it was not like we already beat Shawnee and Waupac. Like we got the league. Like it was a good team. But I remember Westo. What you said, he pitched 5 innings, so he might have.
Yep.
He faced like 17 batters or something like that, and I think he threw a first pitch strike on to every hitter or something like that. And I remember Rick pointing that out to the game. I don't know why that sticks out to me, but he was a machine that day.
Westo or my stat taking?
West, of course.
With the stat taking.
Was that the
So
year?
I'd never been called a machine.
Was that the year that Bath knocked us off in basketball tournament? Sullivan and Gosser.
No, I think that was
No.
I think that was the
The
following
next year,
year.
they were juniors this year. Okay,
No,
they were
no.
probably junior. Okay, it was 14 when they knocked us off.
Yeah.
Alec, you played basketball. You
Yeah, we lost to Swanton, I think, in sectionals, in sectional finals or something.
in 13.
Yeah.
One thing that stood out to me reading the article was Weston faced 18 hitters, 18 first pitch strikes.
Joe just
And-
said that, Gramps.
Oh, you did?
Did you say Gramps?
Locked in on the article.
Everybody has a seat on Grandpa. Welcome to ours.
Ethan, your father-in-law is out of control, dude.
Literally a 2-minute conversation. Hey, boys, did you know?
Unbelievable.
I think Ethan, you should jump in here and maybe help out a little bit. I don't know. I mean,
You know, all the games look the same from the bench, Tim. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know what you want from me, man. Go to the Paulding game. I think I might have played then. Like, I don't know.
Wasn't Cassidy a stat girl that year? That would
Yeah.
explain a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ironically, she didn't do
That's
it the
why I
next
played.
year. I thought she really liked baseball, but she really liked Ethan. So because the next year she didn't do it.
oh, that's some good stuff.
Ethan did give him his due justice. He was 2-0 on the hill with 19 innings pitched that year.
No.
yeah.
And that's not even me like saying that I think I'm bad, because I don't think I'm bad. That's more speaking about how deep we were everywhere.
That
Like,
team was
you could have just thrown any player in any position and we still would have been
Yep.
pretty damn good. Like,
Yep.
it's insane.
exactly.
Yeah, what a year.
I'd
All right, guys,
say
go ahead.
what's getting overlooked too is our defense that year was solid. Like me, I didn't strike everyone out every single time I went out throwing. I had to have help from the defense, and they were solid. As you see, we put up a lot of zeros during WBL play. And that just doesn't come by us pitchers. Our defense has to do some work behind us.
Absolutely.
And we're kind of overshadowing the defense playing behind us and Joe behind the plate, and just looking at pitching and moving on. So I just want to give a shout out to our defense that year.
Amen. Well, like we talked before, I think before we went on the air, you guys outscored your opponents 243 to 46 that year. 243 to 46. You have 46 runs the entire year and scored 243. So amazing.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
All right, guys, let's talk about this tournament run. Starting May 17th at home, sectional finals versus Napoleon. You guys won 7-1. Winning pitcher Rob Ziegler, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 12 Ks. Napoleon scored first in this game. They scored 1 in the first. Defiance, 2 in the first, 5 in the fifth. Dom Romero, 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. You guys only had 3 hits, but you guys won 7-1. What do you guys
Zach
remember
Williman
about
walked the
that
world.
game?
Well, Zach, when he was on, I mean, I remember going into that game when Zach was on. Zach was obviously, he's still doing what he's doing, but
Still
Zach
pitching.
was good.
Mhm.
That was-
I remember having an uneasy feeling with that first game of sectionals, knowing Zach was pitching. mean, obviously we knew how good he was, and then I think it was Tyler Torres hit a triple in the first inning. Now they got their run, and you're like, my God, if Zach settles in, we're in for a dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily he was pretty wild that day.
Was that Zach's junior year?
That was his
Yes.
junior year.
He's a 14, right?
Yeah. But I think he walked 7 or 8.
Yeah, you guys beat some pretty good pitchers that year. When you look at what some of those guys went on to do after high school, some really good pitchers.
How's Zach still pitching?
Yeah, he's still pitching.
Dom, you had a couple RBI in that game. You remember knocking in a couple?
I think it was 100% engraved from the moment I could remember anything. When it's Napoleon, you turn up another notch. A funny thing, and this just reminded me. I met a guy in basic training down in North Carolina, who was from Maumee, and he found out I was from Defiance, and I remember we were just living in a hole that we dug next to each other, and we're like delirious days without sleep, and all I hear him say is, "Hey, Romero." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Napoleon." So I was like, "Yes." I was like, "Absolutely." So every single time I see this guy in the chow hall or something, we would just shout that across. But I think for baseball, Wapak was like, had a target on their back from us. There was some bad blood there, but always, always there's room for some punishment towards Napoleon, whatever we could. So I remember that game specifically because I hated Napoleon. I hated losing our senior year in football, and that made my blood boil every single time I saw them. And I don't know why, but I hated Zach. I just hated that guy so much. So yeah, that one felt good.
Was that the quarterback's fault that year, Dom? In football, was that the quarterback's fault? Who was the quarterback that year? Football.
Concussions coach. I can't. I'm like, it was Joe. It was Joe.
For sure, I'll take that one.
I was going to say I don't remember Dom's hits, but I can probably be 100% sure that they were a line drive over the shortstop's head because he had that sweet lefty swing, and there's no one that went better right over a shortstop line drives. And I know for a fact when you said he had a double against Corey Wilder, that was in the left center gap right over. I mean, he just lived there. And where Dom was really good was when he got to 2 strikes. He would choke up, and he would just find a way to hit a line drive over the shortstop's head. I mean, he could swing. He was fun. He was fun to watch hit.
I remember
you hit 440 your junior year. Dom hit 440 and then struggled to start off your senior year. Then you warmed up in the middle of the year.
Yeah. I think the shoulder started to get into it. But I remember specifically because of that, I would purposely get myself into 2-strike scenarios, and I would just foul everything off until I found a fastball that I liked.
Yeah, you were really good at it.
And just foul off and 6 pitch, like I said, 6 pitch at bats.
Well, I was going to say, you mentioned 6 pitch at bats earlier. You were the king of them. That's probably why you wanted that to be a contest because you knew you were winning that one easily.
It was either the line drives over short or I would hit those slow little bloopers in between third, short, and left field. And while it was dropping, I was already rounding first.
Nice. All right, now this is a game that I still scratch my head about, but what a game.
We all do.
District semifinals, May 24th at Archbold. You guys beat Central Catholic 1-0. Winning pitcher, Robert Ziegler. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks. Losing pitcher, Jake Rudnicki. 6 innings, 0 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, 8 Ks. He later pitched at OU. You guys scored 1 in the second. Dom Romero walked. Weston sacked bunt attempt. Dom out at second. Weston safe at first. Joe Keewan walked, and Weston to second. Garrett Sierra came in to pinch run for Westo at second. Derek Turner struck out. Austin Hancock hit a ball in a 3-2 count. Runners on the move to shortstop Richard O'Donnell, who overthrew first baseman John Belzerzak to allow Garrett to score what proved to be the winning run. And then you guys were talking about Jake Green earlier. He had a big diving catch in the third to keep TCC off the scoreboard. Tell me about getting no hit and winning 1-0 in a district semifinal game against a team that was the only team that beat you that year, 9-8 at home.
Yep.
Your one loss.
And Deshaun Kaiser was on that team.
Yeah.
He might have been the
Well,
one that
you know it's bad when the offensive player of the game is your pinch runner. So that was what the radio gave Boo, our offensive player of the game, and he was the pinch runner that scores on an air. So we didn't do much offensively. I think, if I remember right, it's been a while, but I think that's when Tom said he wanted to take over the hitting duties that game. And I said, you got one game. We'll see how it goes. After that, I said, all right, I'm taking him back. I called pitches that game. He was in charge of the offense. So.
Well, I mean, before we get into like the run and scoring, what do you guys remember about Jake Rudnicki? I mean, what did he have?
He threw hard. He threw hard. He had a good breaker.
He was good that game. Man. All of his stuff was working.
Did he throw the year before too in districts against us?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought.
We beat him. It was like one hit that game.
Yeah, we won 1-0, I think, or 2-0, or 2-1, or something.
That poor guy
threw
threw 2 games against us, gave up 1 hit, and was 0-2. That's insane. That's insane.
I'll say this, and like to give Westo and Zig, give them all the credit in the world. We knew how good they were, but it really speaks volumes about how really good they were when, you go into games like that, against Zach Williman or Rudnicki or, Corey Wilder or whoever. And, if you just score 1 run, it doesn't really matter how you get it. If you get 1 run, then you're pretty comfortable. So, we weren't hitting the ball that game. I don't even know if we had really many hard hit balls. But I don't remember. I remember the, Wapak game junior year, and I remember some games as a coach now where it's like, you get to the 4th, 5th, 6th inning, you're like, it's kind of like the oh shit moment. Like, we might lose this game. And I don't remember at any point that game where I was like, we might not win this. Like, at no point do I remember that, even with how dominant Rudnicki was, having Ziggy on the mound. When you had to score a run, somehow you're going to win. And obviously it proved to be true. So it says.
I agree with you, Joe. I kind of had the same feeling, like with the way Robbie was throwing in Westo. It's like, we're fine because these fools ain't scoring off them. Like, if we can just figure a way to scratch out a run, we're fine. Like, I agree. I always had that same feeling with those two throwing, especially in the tournament. Those two were so good in the tournament.
What do you guys remember about the diving catch in the third? Didn't they have like a runner on second or something?
It's the only thing it says here. It says on the comment I had, says Robbie got big outs today when he needed to. He got the strikeout for the second out in the 3rd inning, and then Jacob Green makes a game-saving catch. If he misses that, game's over.
Well, I remember it specifically because I thought it was going to drop. Obviously, catching, I was as close as anybody, and when the ball hit the bat, it was just a little blooper in shallow center. Like, I thought it was going to be one of those, like, you got to be freaking kidding me. Like, he got off the end of the bat, a little cheap shot, it's going to drop. And I mean, it was a hell of a play. I mean, it was an outstanding defensive play, no matter how you look at it. Doesn't matter what the situation.
Was that marked down on the MVP chart? Outstanding defensive play?
It wasn't Ethan, so Cassie didn't mark it down.
If that was the case, you wouldn't have had to do anything all year.
I do remember. I thought for sure it was going to drop off the bat because it was not hard hit. But Greeny, he had to help. I mean, we had a run there for a couple of years where we had, and I'm sure Rick would say the same thing on this, that we had some of the best outfielders the program ever had. And Greeny's
without a doubt. Greeny was so good. Yeah, we've been spoiled with our outfielders.
Well, when you have a center fielder who doesn't bat, he's just playing center field. That tells you how good he was defensively, because you don't have somebody playing center field that's, getting DH for.
No, usually your center fielders are going to hit lead off or three hole. They're your best, but man, Greeny could cover ground. That's for sure.
It's no fly zone for him.
Yeah.
No,
Robbie, what do
without a
you
doubt.
remember about this game? I mean, you guys won 1-0. You gave up, what did I say, 4 hits and struck out 10. I mean, how good was that lineup? I mean, the district was tougher than the regionals that year, and I hate to say that, but it's so true.
Yeah, because Perkins had to beat who did have to beat BG, I think, beat
Yeah,
the kid that went to
Michigan.
Went to what was his name?
We talked about him last week.
Daniel something. Daniel?
Yeah.
He's coaching Pro Bowl now. Pro Bowl pitching coach.
He is.
Yeah.
I read this in an article
Is it
earlier today.
Pendergrass?
No. No.
It's not Consac. It's
Bowling Green.
Andy Fisher. Andy Fisher.
Oh, Andy Fisher. I'm thinking
oh.
Yeah.
That wasn't the guy that went to Michigan, though.
He wasn't. Andy Fisher went to maybe stayed went to BG.
He was a stud.
JUCO. He went to a
He was a
JUCO
stud.
and then
Lefty.
he ended
Left-handed.
up, and he actually
Left-handed.
played pro ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, Robbie, do you know him?
Yeah, he
Still
came
in pro
down.
ball.
Yeah, he was with the Reds. He's since been released. I think he's doing something different now. But yeah, he was with the Reds for a few years.
Yeah. He was on my fall team. Some say he credits me for his success, but I'm not sure.
yeah, some. Yeah.
Well, the
Some.
next game you could arguably say the next game was a state championship game.
Oh, I mean, I don't think we can talk about this game or the rest of the tournament without going back to the loss to this team during the regular season.
That wasn't that an extra innings game at home?
That is
9-8.
insane. I remember that game. And I mean, the first time we lose, we're like a fun group. I remember like we had a lot of fun. Of course, when you step on the mound and it's time to go, like it's time to go. But we had a lot of fun. And I remember after that game being like, oh, like, damn. It like we can lose. It's that moment of, oh, we're not untouchable. And it's weird to say, but like maybe a little good, like to keep us in check, right? We don't want to get complacent. We can lose, and it's not going to happen again. So I think that was a good thing to happen to us.
Didn't we give up like 6 or 7 in the top of the 7th?
Oh, yeah.
We were 16-0 going into that game. We'd beaten Wapak, we beat Shawnee, and we were rolling, feeling really good about ourselves. And it was a 3-3 game going into the bottom of the 6th. We scored a run in the bottom of the 6th, go ahead 4-3. And then they scored 6 in the top of the 7th to go up 9-4. We scored 4 in the bottom of the 7th. You guys remember the last out of the game? I remember this. Like, I don't hardly remember anything, but I remember this one.
That's the hardest ball he's ever hit in his life.
Oh, my God.
Like
That kid made it, and he made a great catch.
The line drive to center.
That kid made a game-saving catch because the game we'd have won. Because
I believe after that game, that's when Robbie said, "Go Boilers suck. I'll never practice hitting line drives off the back of the net again."
Yeah. No, I'd agree with Tyler with what Ethan said there. Like that was a good humbling moment. I think it brought us all back down to earth a little bit. We still had our lofty goals, but I remember very vividly standing around the mound there. We're fixing up the mound, tamping, and everyone's pissed. Like just the feel of that moment and how that really was kind of the catalyst to leverage what I think the rest of the year played out to be.
Yeah. Ethan made a great point because that game was referenced numerous times by you guys in post-game interviews of that Central Catholic game, saying, "Hey, we automatically aren't going to win. We can be beat," and that was a good wake-up call.
Yeah, good. That's a good point. All right, guys. District finals, May 25th at Archbold. You guys beat Sandusky Perkins 6-1. Winning pitcher, Western Rivers. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 0 walks, 5 Ks. You guys finished with 10 hits. You scored 4 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and you scored all 4 runs in the second with 2 outs already in the books. In the second, Joe Keewan RBI single, Derek Turner RBI single, Austin Hancock RBI single, and Dom Gentili with an RBI single. Austin went 3 for 4 with a triple. Dom Gentili 2 for 4, 2 RBI, and Dom Romero 2 for 4. Second straight year you guys knock off Perkins in the district finals. What do you guys remember about this one?
Well,
Well,
Perkins came in 27-1, ranked number 2 in the state. We were 26-1, ranked number 1 in the state.
I didn't
We
know
knew
that.
was good. Yeah.
But I can tell you that I remember this play vividly, and I would say it's the single biggest at bat for that tournament run. Because you go back to Napoleon, we didn't have many hits. Obviously, Central Catholic, we were no hit. We were kind of struggling, and Joe Keelan got the big 2-out single that gave us those first 2 runs. And I remember the feel of the dugout was like just this big sigh of relief, like, we're okay. We're back. We can go. And I tell everyone, like, that at bat was what I will believe forever that propelled us to win it all. Because it felt like once the tournament started, we were a little tight and everything was like we were really wound, and that kind of released everything. And we relaxed. And from there on out, pretty much cruised. And I always say that at bat.
Yep.
Jump started us.
Agree.
Joe, what do you remember about that at bat? Just getting a good pitch to hit, or?
Well, I remember, a couple things. One, going into that game, and it's kind of reiterating what I said, a little bit ago. Yes, Rick said it. Like, we were really struggling offensively going into that game, but it was still one of those weird feelings of, like, Westo's on the mound, game before Ziggy's on the mound, like, we're fine as long as we score. So, like, there wasn't a whole lot of pressure, and I think that certainly helped. But the year before, we had the same matchups. We played TCC and we played Sandusky Perkins in district, and I had I think the first RBI in the Perkins game the year before too. And so I think that definitely was part of it. I specifically remember thinking about that at bat when I went up to the plate. And I can't remember if I turned on it or something, but no, it was one of the.
It was a line drive between first and second. I'll remember it forever.
I remember I was weirdly confident in that at bat, specifically because of the year before, but like I said, part of it was just because I didn't really feel like there was much pressure. I mean, if I didn't get hit and we didn't score, then we'd score the next thing. As long as Weston's on the mound, we're gonna be fine. And I think that was one of those things that certainly helped a lot. It takes a lot of the pressure off. But yeah, that's definitely what I remember the most. That was the one at bat all year that I remember. I didn't really have any pressure, and it just got a good pitch to hit, and did something good with it, I guess.
Do you remember your knuckler being nasty that day? Because that's what the article says, Weston.
Yeah, it was pretty good, I think. The article.
You beat a 27-1 team. I mean, did you know they were that? Yeah, did you know they were 27-1 when you came in? Did you guys? Is that anything you guys talked about?
We talked about it.
There were, I want to say, 2 things about Weston's knuckleball. So there were 2 games that I remember specifically, and Weston obviously remember both of these, where his knuckleball was different, and it was based on the reaction of the umpires and the opposing team. And so one of them was the state championship with the River Bandits, and we got run ruled the night before by Circleville, and Weston comes out to pitch the next day, and the first pitch, the leadoff hitter, who I think had 3 bombs the night before, first pitch was a knuckleball, and he turns to the dugout and just goes like this. And Weston threw a no-hitter that game. And then the other one is the Perkins game. And I every game Weston pitched, I would tell the home plate umpire, hey, this kid's got a knuckleball, just so you're aware. And every umpire would usually kind of, oh, okay, yep, that's fine, whatever. And this umpire kind of laughed at it, like, yeah, okay, I'm sure he's got a knuckleball. We'll see about that. And he about shit his pants in warm-up. He saw it. And then I will never forget the reactions of the hitters of the Perkins team, because those guys, they're kind of snobby, and they thought they beat us. And I remember them watching it at knuckleball, and you would not believe some of the stuff they were saying to themselves. They had no shot against it.
Yeah, they wanted to get us. They wanted to get us because we got them the year before, and they were loaded. They were loaded this year. This was their team to go somewhere. They had a kid by the name of Thane Walton. I think he was their starter. And I think he went big time somewhere too. But here's I got to read Westo's quote after the game. The key today was to just throw strikes, and my knuckler was absolutely untouchable today.
So I guess it was all right, Westo.
I guess
was
that's
all right.
what the article
It
says.
was always good. I don't know. Like, it was always crazy.
It was always good. You're right.
But again, I just left it up to the defense. Just throw strikes. Let them hit it.
If they're not hitting it, you're just sitting back there watching it, right, Tom?
That easy, right,
Best
Westo?
position.
Just throw strikes.
Left field with
I've been yelling it out of the dugout for years. Just throw strikes. How hard is it?
Hitters suck. Let them hit it.
That's true too.
All right, guys. Moving on to the regionals. May 30th at Tiffin. You guys beat Holy Name 15-1 in 5 innings. Winning pitcher Rob Ziegler, 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 8 Ks. Other Ethan Willitzer, 1 inning, 1 hit, 0 runs, 1 walk, 1 K. You guys had 13 hits. You guys scored 2 in the first, 6 in the second, 1 in the third, and then 6 in the fifth. Austin Hancock, 2 for 4, 2 RBI. Dom Gentili, 2 for 3, 3 runs. Rob Ziegler, 2 for 2, home run, 3 runs, 3 RBIs. Adam Schaefer, 2 for 4, home run, 2 runs, 3 RBIs. Alex Smith, 1 for 1, double. Weston Rivers, 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Derek Turner, 1 for 3, double, and 2 runs. I mean, I just remember this. You guys, like, just beat the crap out of them, and they were just demoralized from the rip. I mean, like they what was their record? They were under 500, weren't they?
They ended up 15-13. So just over 500.
So they were just over 500. Like you guys just massacred them.
They upset somebody like Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, I think, in the districts. Like they were supposed to, like, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin was really good that year. They got upset. The Holy Name upset them.
The one thing I remember was because we played Granville next, and they were all there sitting in the stands watching, and it was like after the second inning, they all filed out, and I remember in the paper, their coach said the plan was for us to stay and watch the whole game. And after the second inning, I said, no way in hell am I letting our kids watch these guys and be intimidated before we even get to tomorrow. But I remember we put on a absolute clinic. I mean, everything, hitting, pitching, defense. It was maybe the best game that we played.
Didn't we get rained out then against Granville a day and had to come back another day?
Your day affair.
Yeah. That's the next game. Right? Will you just stay one game at a time? Unbelievable.
We haven't got.
At least I'm ahead. I'm ahead now.
I'm surprised you didn't say. I thought you were going to say, didn't we win it all this year?
Hey, Tom, hold on. We haven't got to Ethan yet. He closed out a big 15-1 win. I mean, let's let him have his let him have his time here.
You know, I never had any pressure because, like I said, I would throw against Paulding, or we were already up by 10 runs. But I will say it didn't, like, I was never nervous because, I mean, Weston said it. We were so stacked everywhere. It didn't matter if I gave up a home run. Like, I knew someone on our team is going to make a big play. They're going to hit a home run. Like, it didn't matter. Like, it's crazy as that is to sound, like, not feeling pressure as a pitcher is huge. And you just didn't, of course I didn't, but it didn't matter because we were just so good everywhere. So yeah, that was awesome.
So, anybody else want to add anything about this game, semis?
I'll add one more. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Oh, after you out, please.
I just remember after I hit that double standing on second base, and their shortstop came up to us and he asked what we were all eating for, in general, because we were so huge compared to them. And we were all. I think we had so many doubles that game. I was just laughing. That's like one of the things I remember that game, but.
One of our few teams that was imposing getting off the bus. Yeah. Usually we get off when we're just normal sized and then scrap our way in that. But when you guys walked off a bus, like, people look like, oh my God, who's getting off this bus?
Well, part of it was we'd show up blasting Danza Kuduro and we'd look like idiots. And then we get off the bus like, oh, these guys might be idiots, but they're huge.
I still love
Robbie,
that
what were you
mom.
going to say?
No, I was just gonna say, similar to what Alex said, like just that opponent was rather outclassed. I think we were just, physically better, skill was better. When I rolled up there and, we look over and their coach has a shirt that's kind of cut down to here and he's got his chest fro popping out. Like we feel all right about this. We're not going to be challenged too much today. So I think, obviously the record says something, but then you see the stature and the physique of the opposition, you get a little bit of extra confidence knowing who you are going to war with and who you're going against. So yeah, that was a good game.
Are you trying to say that Coach Held didn't throw BP with a shirt like that on?
Not like this cat was wearing.
All right,
But that
guys.
reminded me of something prior to the season because didn't we lose every game in Florida or scrimmages?
In Cincinnati,
We didn't go to
Yeah.
Florida.
Cincinnati. Oh, we
Not
got
that
Oh,
killed.
cool.
Cincinnati. Yeah,
We
that was
got like
bad.
run ruled every game.
Yeah,
We couldn't throw
But-
strikes. We just got murdered every game. We come back. We go, oh my god!
Not
this
for the
is
first 2 innings.
and long story short,
That's because
but
I was pitching.
First 2 innings is either Robert or I, and we'd do okay, and then the other guys would go. And then
I remember that. I always say this too. I think Westa, you had one of the bigger hits. Hey, Joe's propelled us, but I remember you had a huge hit game 1 against Wasion early on because
the
we
only
were
hit
still
I
trying.
remember. Other
Yeah,
than
we were
that.
trying to find ourselves, and I remember Coach Held and I, like after the scrimmage, going, "Oh my God, I thought we were going to be pretty good. Like we were awful." And then we came out, and we run ruled Wasion. I know you had a big hit early. I do remember that, but yeah,
Yeah,
Alec, that's
5
good memory
RBIs
because
that
those
game.
scrimmages were awful.
yeah, I just
mean, we
remember
did-
playing one green team they were dipping and everything before the game. I'm like, okay, we're definitely gonna beat these guys, and we just got creamed.
Yeah,
That was
we, well,
Hamilton
we,
Baden.
we did
So-
scrimmage. We
Yeah,
did scrimmage Moeller, Hamilton Bay, and Lakota West. So I
Right.
mean, all 3 of those were top
I
5
was going to
teams in the
say,
state.
Hamilton
D1.
Bay played that TJ Nick team. We played in Little League.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I hit that kid
Little
every
League,
time.
they
in Little
waxed
League.
us in high school. Nice job.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man.
So guys, moving on to the regional finals, like you said, Tom, a 2-day game. You guys beat Granville 4-0. Winning pitcher, Western Rivers, 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 0 walks, 4 Ks. Robbie came on through 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 6 Ks. It was split, right? Like Weston threw the first 4. Is that when it was called?
Yeah.
And then Robbie came
Yeah,
in and threw
Robbie
the last
came
3.
in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
We had
you
to
guys.
put the tarp on. It was
Couldn't do-
terrible.
Couldn't do that. Couldn't do that nowadays with pitch count.
No.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, here's what I
You,
remember.
Ethan, you'd have been pitching in the regional finals a bit now because yeah.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, we
We're coming back day 2, and I remember I want to say it was the first pitch Robbie threw. It may have been the first hitter, but I'm pretty sure it was the first pitch. And they singled. They hit a hard ball, line drive, like past short. And I remember their dugout going nuts, screaming like they were yelling. I remember one kid yelling, "Oh, D1 UK, sure, buddy." And I remember Robbie just looking over like, "Okay, enough out of you guys." And then he just freaking dealt from there on. Like they didn't sniff him after that.
Well,
I saw you shaking your head, Rob. Sorry, Joe.
No, you're
Did you-
good.
I mean, you obviously heard it too.
No, yeah, I'm laughing internally kind of because what we talked about earlier, just one little thing that can set me off. Like Torres, when he got the 30 against Napoleon, he was sitting there making some funny little face, and it's like, all right, enough of this, time to bear down, let's get it done. Same deal here, they get a little bit of energy, get one good little thing to go. All right, that's enough. I'm tired of hearing this. Let's put an end to this. But
I love it.
I told you he's like Michael Jordan. That's all I needed to hear. It's over.
I love it.
So you guys scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the sixth. Austin Yant had a sac fly RBI in the first. Robbie, you had a 2-out, 2 RBI single in the second, and Austin Hancock had a home run in the sixth. He finished 2 for 3 with a double, the home run, and 2 runs. Dom Gentili 1 for 3 with a double. Robbie 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, and Adam Schaefer 2 for 3. You guys finished with 8 hits. I mean, how good was that Granville team? What was their record, Tom? I didn't write it down.
23-7.
23-7.
They were terrible.
Well, maybe
The problem with them is, like everyone, I don't think they'd seen anyone like Weston and Robbie. I mean, that's just the thing. And I remember as we were going on, I remember talking to Tim Held, who's Moeller's coach. We were talking. I remember him saying, "There's no chance anyone in Division II has a number 2 like you guys have." He's like, obviously you have the best pitcher in Division II, but he goes, you might have the best 2 pitchers in Division II because no team's going to match their number 2 against your number 2. There's no chance. True.
Yeah.
Thanks for agreeing.
So, you guys win a regional championship, and you're heading to state. You're coming off the disappointment from the year before. What do you guys remember about finishing that game off and celebrating or anything?
I was probably going fishing.
I think from what I
Probably
remember,
time to head to the river.
one of the things that I remember, even after we won the big one, the best critique we ever got from Coach Hud was, man, you guys need to learn how to celebrate. Because we were like, all right, cool, next. Even after we won state, we're like, oh shit, what's next? And we didn't know what to do. We're like, okay, we did it.
Because in the article, Joe Key once said, won the regional final game, and he said, I just turned around, handed the ball to the umpire, and I started to walk off, and I saw a delayed run out to the mound. I don't think he even dogpiled in that game, because I think I don't think he even dogpiled.
we didn't.
I don't think so.
On that one.
Again, that was our mindset. We were in state. Like, we're not done yet.
Yep.
Very businesslike. That's awesome. All right, so moving on to the state semifinals, June 7th at Huntington Park. You guys beat Akron Hoban 5-1. Winning pitcher Rob Ziegler, 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 14 Ks. You guys scored 4 in the first, Hoban 1 in the third, and then Defiance 1 in the fifth. You scored 4 runs with 2 outs in the fourth. You scored 4 runs with 2 outs. Double play erased a base runner. Robbie walked. Adam Schaefer single to left. Robbie to second. Austin Yant hit by pitch. Don Romero RBI walk. Western Rivers triple high off the right field wall.
Oh, and it was a
RBIs.
rocket.
I thought it was going out. I remember
We
that.
all did.
Yeah. Yep. And then you guys scored the run in the fifth. Adam Schaefer walked, moved to second on a sac bunt by Austin Yant. Drake Jimenez pinch hit for Weston. RBI single to left. Yep. So I've got Austin Hancock 2 for 3. Weston 1 for 1 with a triple and 3 RBIs, and Joe Keelan 2 for 4 with a double. What do you guys remember about Hoban?
I don't remember much about Hoban. I remember we jumped on him early, and then pretty much like everything. When we scored 4 in the first, you pretty much could have said, all right, game over. Like, they're not scoring 4 off Robbie. There's no chance. So, I mean, in that atmosphere, in that big of a game, when you score 4 in the first with your big dog going, it relaxes you and calms your nerves an awful lot.
What I remember about Hoban sitting up there in the stadium before we left for the state tournament, you know, obviously going over the teams who we could be playing, who we are playing, and Coach Held was talking about, I guess he got wind. I think Ryan Moomey's name comes into play here. I don't know if it was through him or what, but I remember his name being brought up and Akron Hoban basically saying they had no idea where we were from or who we were, what we were about. And that was I think enough to really motivate all of us.
That was all you needed, Robbie.
Small town group, but you know, with something certainly to prove as a whole team. You know, it's more than us. It's the school. It's the city. It's everything that, you know, we represent. So just hearing a group of more city boys, quote unquote, over there in the Akron area, we had something to show them who we were.
Was this the game that Chad that came over and talked to the team? Was that this game or was that the next one? Somebody came and talked to
It was a championship.
The next one.
Okay.
Championship game.
Yeah. Yep. So
I was gonna say, I know Robert shouldn't have had any runs scored on him that game. Surprised you haven't brought that up yet.
Is that Dom's throw?
Yeah. my big old bunny hops.
Oh no.
You're over it, Robbie?
Yes, we won. I got a ring.
All right.
He still
So
gives me crap about it. Don't let him fool you.
The state
Offline. He's
championship
going to
game
text you tonight.
wasn't there rain down at the state tournament that year, and the game just
It's
kept
all back.
getting moved
Everything
back?
got pushed a day.
Yeah. Didn't Dace get drafted by the Indians the same day you guys played?
Yep.
I just
Took
remember I was
infield.
busy. I was busy
Mhm.
as hell that day. I had to get a hold of
Yeah,
Dace
because
and the Indians, and you guys
everything got
played
pushed
late.
back a day.
Yeah, and it was late at night when the game was over, and we had like 30 minutes before they were going to kick us out of there to get our stories back and get everything in the paper. That was a crazy
Yep.
weekend.
I remember
All
we
right.
just got done taking infield, and everyone's like, "Dace gets drafted."
Yeah. So
it's awesome.
so June 8th, Huntington Field. You beat Jonathan Alder 8-2. Winning pitcher, Western Rivers, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 0 walks, 15 Ks. Perfect game through 5 1/3, I believe. 0-0 game through 4 innings. You guys scored 4 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th. Alder had both of their runs in the 7th. In the 5th, Robbie had an RBI single to score Austin Hancock. Let's see. Austin Yant, 2 out, 2 RBI singles, scored Robbie and Dom Gentili. Dom Romero, 2 out RBI single, scored pinch runner Wade Veerhoff. And then let's see, Austin Hancock, 2 for 5, 2 runs. Adam Schaefer, 2 for 4. Austin Yant, 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Dom Romero, 2 for 3. Derek Turner, 2 for 4. Second state championship in Defiance history, first since 1992 D1. You guys finished 31-1, and I think, Tom, didn't you send this? You guys finished ranked 19th in the country in the USA Today national poll. Is that right?
Yep. Finished 19th in the country, USA Today. Yep.
What do you guys remember about taking it to Jonathan Alder?
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Robbie, you got to share the story about your base hit, because this gives me chills every time you tell this story.
Muted.
Oh, you're on mute, Robbie.
No, thank you. Get to that one in a second, but backtrack 2010 had the pleasure to go along with that group to the state semifinal where Jonathan Alder beat them, and I think they finished with an undefeated season. So kind of had that in the back of the mind. But yeah, I think we beat them the year prior in the state semifinal, or excuse me, regional semifinal. So I played them. We're familiar with them, who they were, kind of how they carried themselves. But yes, so is that the first ribby or first base runner? What?
It was the first ribby. It was
the first ribby, RBI
run.
single. Yep.
Right up the middle. So we were struggling. Buddy was kind of just a little crafty righty, low 80s, pull the string, had a little kind of funky changeup, kind of like a Culver from the year prior. Just kept us off balance. And really, if you can do that in high school, throw 2 or 3 pitches and mix them, you're going to be in a good spot. So he was holding us down through those, first time through, get back through. And, a lot of noise, however many people there were. And I believe I'm in a 2-strike count. I just hear off to my right, deep. Just keep it short. And it was my dad. It was a cue he always used, was keep it short, too long through. And, I just heard that amongst all the other chatter and noise and everything going on. I just heard keep it short. And that was the approach. That was his simplicity, to try to see it deep and keep it short. And all of a sudden you hit something back up the middle. You're right on time with it. And obviously it led to the result it did. But yeah, that's something I will never forget. Just hearing keep it short and led to the right result.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then who followed up with a 2-run single after that?
Well, it would have been our 4-hitter.
Well, assistant hitting coach Joe Keewan says Austin Yant.
Well, first off, he doesn't have that title. No one gave him assistant hitting coach title.
I did that year.
Says Austin Yant, before I went up to bat, catcher Joe Keewan gave me a pep talk. He told me I'm a better. He goes, he told me I'm a better batter, aggressive. So I went up there aggressive. I had 2 strikes on me. I don't know how aggressive that is with 2 strikes. I had 2 strikes on me, and I didn't like the pitch before. So I just wanted to put the ball in play. I got a ball I could handle, and I drove it to the left. And that gave us, put us up 3-zip. So it was a big 2-run RBI. Now, the assistant to the assistant hitting coach, Mark Vittorio, was credited.
What's he,
for
George
the-
Costanza?
was credited for the adjustment at the plate after being scoreless through 4, going to the 5th. Coach Vittorio, pitcher was, it says in here, like mid to upper 70s, was a crafty little dinky winky there. And Vittorio says, "Hey, let's move up in the box this inning." Everybody moved up in the box, and
I do remember that.
just
He's like,
simple
he's
little
like, we
league
need to
play.
pull
Right? You know what I mean?
a
Let's
little
move up.
little league trick. He's like, just
Yep.
move up in the box. He goes, the ball's barely getting to him. They can't. And I remember you going, well, we never do that, but Jesus, it's 0-0 in the 5th state title game. We got to try something. And that's kind of when we broke it out. I remember, obviously, after the state semis with Robbie, and I remember I proclaimed, we're never going to see a better pitching performance in the state game like that. And Westo looked at me and said, hold my beer. Wait till tomorrow, buddy. And the dude came out, and he was unreal. And here's, I think, the greatest compliment, which you probably don't even know. And Coach Held and I have talked that we've got to know Coach Kyle quite a bit, the head coach at Jonathan Alder. And he told us, he said, in all his years of coaching, the only game he's ever felt helpless, like that there was nothing he could do to help his team. He's like, after that first inning, and I watched him throw in his knuckle, he goes, there was nothing I could do. And he goes, it's the worst feeling as a coach, being helpless, having nothing to provide to your team. And I mean, and that's kudos to Westo, because gosh, he was so good. But Westo, you got to tell the story when Coach Held came out in the 7th to you, because that's hilarious too.
Yeah, I don't really remember what I said, but I just saw him walking out. I'm like, what's he doing? Like, come on.
I think you told him to go back to the dugout.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. I thought you
put my arm
said.
around him,
I
like,
thought
Coach,
you just
we're
said,
good.
turn around and go back.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
closing this out.
You're good, Coach. Like, you can go on back. I got it. Don't worry about it.
He just wanted to be seen in the crowd, because he didn't have to go out and talk to Robbie in the semis. He didn't have to go out and talk to you in the finals. He wanted people to know he was there.
Yeah.
So he just went out to see you.
You guys only combined for 29 strikeouts in those 2 games. But that's just,
it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, 29 out of the 42 outs were strikeouts.
Well, that's the thing. You had no walks and 15 Ks in the championship game. Like,
yeah,
I did hit the dude in the foot.
Joe, do you remember the ending? It was anticlimactic.
I absolutely remember it. I remember dropping the 3rd strike, which was a knuckleball, and it actually went to the backstop, and the guy didn't run the 1st. And I just remember everybody in the stadium is screaming bloody murder to go tag him and just, tag him, touch him. And Weston's standing on the mound like, whatever, like he's not saying a word.
I was saying tag him, and you're just like,
oh, you might. Well, okay, well, you might. I do remember.
Then he took off, and I'm like,
I look at Ziggy at first base, and Ziggy's just standing there, just like patting his glove, like, "Hey, dude, whatever you want to throw it, just throw it." Like he was the only one that literally was not screaming anything. It was so weird. But Ziggy's down there, like, "Hey, dude, whatever. I'll catch it whenever you throw it."
I think like everyone got quiet at that point. They're like, "Is he going to throw the ball? Like, is he going to do some of this?"
So weird. I just wanted to prolong it, obviously.
And then we did dogpile that time.
You did dogpile that one.
Hey, let's back up 2 outs. Okay, so I'm in at 2nd, so we're already winning. And I remember if you listen to like the commentators, they go, you think you'd want your best fielders out there, like when they announce my name at second base. You think you'd want your best fielders out there. And they hit it up the middle, and I run and I grab it, and I look at my glove because I'm not actually sure if it's there, but I have it, and so I toss it to Acock to try to turn a double play. But I still, like, I remember watching that and going, dang, man. But once again, like, deep everywhere, so good everywhere. It was awesome.
To piggyback off you, E, I think this group was particularly special, and we were the ideal product of not just a team, but the program. I mean, I remember waking up because we played back-to-back days. We're putting on our dirty, nasty stirrups that, in the hotel room, like there's six of us because, Defiance funding, there's six of us in a room, and we're just having the time of our lives. And I was always a little bit different, and I would just like I remember that moment. I'm like, dude, this is like looking at the screen. I mean, we got Zig, Holiday Lanes, we got E-Will's, Defiance Chiropractor, Baker Schindler, Defiance Clinic. Half those places don't even exist anymore. But this championship started being built at Kingsbury Park with the Pepsi slushies and playing handball behind the stands, and like I think that's why we never really got rattled because we knew everybody on the team's ins and outs, what triggered them, and when that happened, they knew when somebody came up to them and just like let's go. They knew that it was sincere. And like yeah, like I said, like Will said, we were so deep because we knew every single one inside and out. Something off the field that was going on before we even stepped on the bus, right? Let it go, and then we were just locked in. I think like just the cohesiveness, like you could plug and play any one of us on the field, and you would have had the same result, I think.
And that's what's cool because every one of the groups have said the same thing. You all grew up together. You all played against each other in Little League. You all hung out for your whole lives. You remember your Little League games way more than you remember your high school games. And that's what's special about Defiance. I mean, Defiance has always kept their groups together. Even to this day, in this day and age, our kids are still staying together in community teams and playing still house baseball. And it just makes it really special. It makes it really special. And one reason it's continued this long is because of guys like groups like you guys and the guys that came before you and the guys that came after you. And it goes, you don't have to go play travel ball, 100 games and drive all over the country to be successful. And I thank you guys for that and your families, really more your parents, because parents control that more than the kids do. So it's cool. It's really cool.
I remember waiting for you guys for interviews after the game, and Gubernath was trying to fill some air, and so he comes over and he and I are talking, and we brought this up in the last episode about how we thought 2012, that team, like you guys said, just a great team, and they didn't get there, and then Goobs was like, I don't think anybody saw Weston Rivers coming out of the woodwork and going 10-0, and it was like, but like Dom, you were saying, like you guys were plugging people wherever you guys, whoever was in there performed, and he and I were talking about that. It was just like, and then I just remember him saying like, how did they lose to Central Catholic in the first place? And then we laughed, and then we're like, well, they did no hit them, and then we laughed, but just 31-1. I mean, just what a year. Like Robbie, 10-0, 0.45 ERA. Weston, 10-0, 0.31 ERA. And your number three, Derek Turner, 5-0 with an 0.29 ERA. He finished with a better ERA than both of you guys. I mean, that's crazy. That's 25 of 31 wins. What a season for real. Unbelievable.
Absolutely, fun year.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I think it all started too. We won Acme State.
Yep.
To get that ball going and get that little taste.
And you know who had the most wins in that summer before?
No.
Ethan.
Dude, Acme was my time to shine.
You had like 7 wins in the Acme season before that. Yep.
And you want to know
Zig
why?
was gone. Zig was gone most of that summer. You were
Yep, he
playing.
wasn't there.
Yeah,
And another reason, I threw a cutter. And I remember this specifically. I threw a cutter in Acme, and dude, it was shredding kids. I don't know how some people played Acme. I tried to throw it in a varsity game, and I remember the first inning after I throw it and I come back, and you go, "Don't throw that anymore." All right.
Anybody want anything about the state championship or anything else?
I just want to add one thing.
Funny stories too.
And that these guys have referenced and Coach Held and I talk about all the time. And people always ask us what makes Defiance baseball. And there's quite a few things, but I think 2 things that really stand out that I think that we do that has really built the program. And they've mentioned it numerous times. It's our winter workouts and Acme baseball. And he talked about Little League. It was really the same thing as they got in high school. They all stayed and played Acme together. So as soon as 2012 was done, as rough as that ending was, these guys came in the next day and it was full go in the summer, playing 30 games together, getting ready for the next season. And then we talked about we roll into winter workouts. 6-1 is plastered everywhere. And Acme baseball and our winter workouts, I firmly believe is what's made this program.
Yeah, the 245 is amazing that you guys came up with that. That's who came up with that?
I think it was Joe.
Joe? Because was there something like that with like football or basketball and you turned it into baseball? The team had that or what? But that was incredible.
Not that I remember. No, I don't know. It just came to mind, I guess.
Joe, was it 245 that won us the title, or was it Be Your Own Slushy that won us the title? Because
according to the dugout, it's bring your own slushy.
well, everybody loves a Mountain Dew slushy from Speedway, so you bring me one, you're in the lineup.
Oh yeah, that was good stuff. Who would have thought? And that's the best part. I mean, every saying every team has is pretty good, but I feel like the be your own slushy is got to be the one that's most out of left field. That like everybody's like, what the hell is
Well, it doesn't fall into line with all our other quotes in the dugout. That's for sure.
Oh, that's for sure. But it worked. It worked. Good job, Rick.
Thank you. It's the one thing I've contributed to the program. Slushies.
It's a good day for a good day. Was that 2012?
Yep.
That was a good one too.
2008.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out to the unsung hero. We've talked about Weston's knuckleball a lot. Shout out to me. I don't know if anyone played knuckleball catch in the outfield as much as I did with Weston. Everyone else is, we're doing long toss and then you come in and it's knuckleball catch. And so I would stand there. I would just throw basically be like a 50-mile-an-hour, doesn't move. And Weston would throw it and I have to go like this and catch it the entire time because there's no way I'm standing up and trying to catch. So, shout out to me for really developing that for him. Who knows what would have happened if we didn't do that?
Good.
Thank you.
There's always an unsung hero, right?
Always.
We can't forget about me tripping over the bullpen there in the 7th inning either.
Oh my! I totally forgot.
I do remember that.
Dude, I wasn't gonna bring it up. If you did though,
Yeah. Well, I never ran so fast in my life. I never got yelled at by opposing fans like that ever.
Was that the state championship, Alec? Was this?
Yeah.
Yep. I remember.
It was
that.
not. That was not. My glove was in my bag. I wasn't even ready. But they called me so many names. You suck, you little mother. Yeah, it was bad.
Jonathan Alder.
Yeah.
Jonathan Alder. Oh my
I
goodness.
forgot all about that one.
I
We
remember.
can't
it was
forget
foul ball,
about
though.
Joe Keewan's gardening gloves for batting gloves.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the rip
Dude.
thing. Yeah. Forgot about that.
Those worked. That 215 batting average. It clearly worked.
I
I've been
used,
trying
I
to
remember.
let the guys use them, and he won't do it.
I just
used
remember how bad they
receiver
stung.
gloves. I didn't even use batting gloves. I used wide receiver gloves because I like the grip better. I think another cool memory from specifically the title was mentioning the 2012 team and that when I was out in left and we won, I turned around and just right above the very first row was my cousin Stefan, but Nick Vittorio, AK, Nafi, just all the guys that helped us get there. They were screaming the loudest, like just that support. There wasn't any that should have been us. That was never a thing ever. They never made us feel guilty or anything like that. They were just like, all right, torch is on you. And we mentioned, Chad came back too, just like that level of, family that comes with the program is awesome. And how people, we haven't seen each other. We never even had a 10-year reunion to my knowledge or anything. We haven't seen each other in so long. And here we are, like, we haven't skipped a beat, all different parts of the country. So I think I have to, like I said, that started in Kingsbury. So I think that was really cool. Just turning around and seeing like those guys that were with us like the year before that didn't get the shot to play there at Huntington and being the biggest, like the loudest voices cheering us on. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool. Thanks for sharing that. That's good.
I'm a little disappointed that nobody is showing off their ring. Like nobody thought to bring their state championship ring to the podcast. I mean, what are we doing?
My mom
Bobby
won't let me
probably
have
had
mine. She said she worked for that one, so.
Robbie's looking. Yeah, someone's got it. Someone's got to show it. I mean, we've seen a poster behind someone's head, but you know what I'm saying.
There
you
it
go.
is. There it is. Good
Wow,
job,
beautiful.
Roberto.
Hey, you know
Very
what
nice,
I'd
Robbie.
add too, just as we're talking through here, I think it's really cool to just see a whole lot of hard work come to fruition on a lot of different ends. Like we talk about the winter workouts, you know, and someone mentioned, Tim, I think you mentioned, you know, Weston not being expected. I think, you know, had somebody popped their head in and seen the work that he was doing that winter, you would think differently. I think the guy worked his tail off and he put himself in that spot to succeed through what he did, you know, the years prior, and it really led to that point. I think, you know, we mentioned the TCC game, a 1-0 win when we get no hit, but it stems back to hallway laps, you know, playing the game hard, playing the game the right way, scoring on an overthrow, you know, just the small fundamental things, the 6-pitch ABs. We mentioned, you know, two out RBIs, two out hits, just all these little things when it's instilled from Coach Held, Coach Weaver to play the game the right way. You know, everything they're doing from winter workouts to summer workouts to, you know, just working tirelessly, really up to the point of when you win a state championship, it's very thankless. And there's not a whole lot of monetary, you know, things being received, but it's the when it all comes to this point, you can look at the ring, you know, 13 years later and get to relive all this. Like that's why I think the rubber really meets the road, and it's pretty fulfilling all the work you put in to be able to look back on this and say we did it.
What do you
So
guys?
that's your guys' job. 15-year reunion. Bring them everybody back. Everybody back on that team. Their families, kids. All right, we got to get that plan. So so you guys can reminisce with the whole team and everybody. Good stuff.
Robbie, you can tell you're a coach now, buddy, the way you
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
Dude, I was gonna type in the chat, dude. He's got some PR training now. Like,
He's gonna give some great interviews down the road.
yeah.
I've made a few here, to be quite honest with you, fellas. I talked to a couple pro clubs here the last couple weeks. Had a couple jobs actually extended, so I'm glad something's working right, and you guys are noticing. So appreciate that.
Yeah, buddy.
Does anyone have any good embarrassment to the teams?
That's good.
No one's gonna
I
share.
can't remember anything.
I think some of my favorite ones were when Mazin would get one, and he's like, "We can't just get one. I'm gonna get 3." He would get one. He's like, "All right, well, fuck you, what's another one?" And it's just like amped them up. Those are great.
Greedy and I got one for throwing pop-ups at each other, warming up, and I don't remember what game it was. In the outfield, in the middle of the game.
I figured Greeny would get one from just chucking it over the fence, getting pissed off.
I got one the summer before you brought up Mazin. I got one the summer before at Bryan. I got pissed like I always do in the dugout, and I smacked the top of the water cooler and it fell off the bench. Water, Gatorade went everywhere, whatever, and clearly an embarrassment to the team. And Bryan, they made a pitching change, and so Aaron Helen went over to Bryn Lehman, who was coaching the acting team at that point, and said, "Hey, Joe just threw the water cooler, and is that an embarrassment to the team?" And Bryn goes, "General mental." So then we tie it. Next inning, Mazin goes in the pitch and just it implodes. Like he gives up like 5 runs or something. Finally gets out of the inning, and he takes his glove off from the mound and throws his glove into the dugout from the mound. I'm like, I'll never forget Bryn's face. Like, what the hell just happened? He said, "Give Mazin an embarrassment to the team." And you know what? Change Joe's to an embarrassment to the team too.
And a stray bullet, dude.
Hold you in.
Unbelievable.
That's awesome. Mine was it was Acme, and we were at Sylvania Southview, and Tom with Acme, he doesn't do a lot, but for some reason he was talking to me while I was on the mound, and before he's done, I wave him off and just turn around. And after that was like the worst feeling, and I decided then I'm gonna make him my father-in-law to piss him off forever.
So you can wave him off whenever you want.
Yep, see ya.
Good stuff.
long range plans. That's
Always.
fantastic. Oh, good stuff.
Oh man.
All right, guys. I think we've been doing this for a couple hours now,
Yep.
so we'll wrap this one up. But hey, thank you guys for coming on and sharing the stories and the memories. What a great year! Thanks for bringing out the ring, Robbie. That was great. Guys, we'll be back next week with look at that.
Heads up
2014.
baseball, baby. Heads up baseball.
Yeah. We'll be back with 2014 to talk about, unfortunately, the streak coming to an end in a crazy way. But we've got next week with 2014, and then we got some special guests for the final episode 10. But thanks again, guys, and keep on keeping on. I love what you guys are doing with this. This was fun.
Thank you, Tim.
See you,
Thank you.
boys.
Tim.
Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.